Hey everybody, I hope you all really enjoyed Sonic Month, and I really wish I got to make this video under better circumstances. I know this isn't my usual type of video on this channel, and I apologize for the seemingly random upload, but I am asking everyone to please listen to what I have to say in this video, as I would not make this if it wasn't extremely important for myself and everyone. Just today, upon making this video, which is July 1st, 2026, I know the video might not be appearing to most of you till July 3rd, and I apologize for that, as I was at work when I received this news. So I had to sort of scramble to make a video about it, but at the time of making this video, Sony just announced that they will be ceasing all physical media production of games, so in 2 years from now. This is a huge deal for all of us, and if you buy all your games digitally, I want you to keep watching and hold your thoughts until the end of the video to see if your thoughts might change. Physical media is a huge part of what I do, and it's something I advocate for here on this channel all the time, as the only real way to ensure you actually own something is if you have it on your shelf. As any digital-only license, they can just revoke at any time, and in fact, Sony themselves removed over 500 movies only a few weeks ago from people's purchase library. And no, they didn't just remove the ability to buy them, they removed complete access to them. They are simply gone. The idea of an all-digital future is a dystopian one, and it has severe negative ramifications to all of us as consumers. For starters, it puts your privacy at greater risk than ever, as most retail stores will cease carrying games that are not physical copies. Many have already announced this intent with Grand Theft Auto 6. This means buying games with actual cash will become harder, and thus more and more purchases will be via credit cards, which will have your real name attached to them. Sony has been hacked multiple times and lost customer data. Remaining anonymous about your game purchases will no longer be an option going forward outside of gift cards, and even they carry their own flaws. On the same day as this announcement, Sony also announced their intent to close down the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita storefront. Announcing the closure of a digital storefront on the same day that you're announcing you'll be moving to a digital-only future is the epitome of showing that Sony does not care. If there is no used copies of games, then companies will have less incentive to lower prices, as they'll have complete control over pricing, and reselling games will now be impossible. This means that some games will definitely be lost to time, when the company decides you can no longer have access to them. I know there's a crowd already writing comments under this video, trying to be snarky and pointing out that games all require updates and such to even function all the time anyway. And while I admit this is partially true, the reality is that at least with physical media you have something that still functions and cannot be removed from your library. I am not against the idea of digital games existing. However, when you eliminate other options, you create a world where the consumer has no rights and corporations are the only ones who benefit from such moves. With gaming already being close to a luxury hobby, moves like this will not drive costs down, they will drive costs up. Make no mistake, cheaper production costs for Sony will not translate to lower prices for you. It means more profit per game for them. I have been a PlayStation fan since the PlayStation 1, and anyone who has watched my channel knows I will talk about the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 extensively. I even have covered a handful of PlayStation 3 games. I have loved PlayStation for a long time, so to see it go this route is very heartbreaking, and I fear it won't stop at games. I am sure it will bleed into movies as well, as many films already don't get physical releases. Understand one thing, if we allow this to pass without resistance, the future will only get worse. If you think this is no big deal right now, wait until 5 years later if we all choose to do nothing. I promise it'll be 10 times worse. So, what can we do? The answer is simple. Don't buy digital games. I know this is easier said than done, but if people let go of their fear of missing out the next major AAA title and held out for a true physical release, it would send a message to Sony and other developers that people don't want this. Do not believe the supposed data claiming that customers are buying digital far more than physical, as these numbers usually come from data that is presented to investors, where we have seen time and time again that companies will manipulate said data to make it seem like the market wants something so they can justify their action. It is the old, everyone is doing it mentality that they want you to believe. Physical media is the only chance at preserving games and our rights as consumers. Don't forget that major game studios have already fought heavily against consumer rights in the past, such as EA trying to tell customers in European countries that they should vote for politicians who will allow them to skirt past the requirement to have gambling license, to have gambling in their games, or the fact that tons of corporations are pushing back against the Stop Killing Games movement. Our rights as consumers are under attack, and if we all just accept it solely because we don't want to miss out on the next big game, then we are condemning ourselves and the future generations to a world where access to everything is temporary, and it won't end here, and we all know that it won't end here. So this is what we can all do. Write to Sony and tell them that we don't want this. We have to make a commitment to stop buying digital games, show this physical side a huge boost in sales in coming months, and put pressure on Sony to change this decision. If this comes to pass, gaming as we know it will change in a horrible way. I'm asking everyone watching to understand that more options for you is a good thing, and there is no benefit to eliminating physical media. Literally none. There is zero benefit. Like I said, if you believe this will reduce production costs so that games become cheaper, I would like to remind you that games have released digital only for more money just recently with games like Grand Theft Auto 6. Digital copies of games have never been cheaper, shy of Nintendo very recently reducing prices for digital copies of games. And this is only for their very recent first-party games. And on top of that, they're not even giving you a discount, they're just charging what they used to charge prior to hiking the prices up to $70. So you're not actually saving them money, they're giving you the original price. If you think these corporations will pass savings on to consumers, then you simply haven't been paying attention to the industry. Gaming is something that I've grown up with, and it's something I've been a part of for as long as I can remember. And I want to use anything in my power to save it from corporate greed, reducing our access to it and pricing us out of it. I'm not going to just stand on ceremony here either. I want to take some time to point you all to a few creators that I know who also have a lot to say about the importance of physical media and media preservation, in hopes that it will not only ignite them into taking action on this issue, but also show people there are other voices besides my own who deeply care about this problem. The first which is Pineapple Retro. He's someone I started following somewhat recently, and he does tons of videos on game collecting on TikTok, and he live streams where he regularly talks about owning physical media, and he's insanely knowledgeable in the subject. The next, of course, is Shin0555. If you know this channel, you know he and I are very good friends and share a lot of the same views when it comes to the industry. But by the time this video goes up, I'm sure he'll already have a video of his own talking on the subject. So definitely check him out because he does videos commenting on the industry all the time here. Next is Epic Legend Quest here on YouTube. Really great guy, and he knows the importance of actually owning your games. Lastly, I want to mention a good friend of mine, Jimus, who does tons of videos on the classic games and has extensive knowledge in the industry, way more than myself even. Some other channels that I know have done some videos on why digital media is not good for consumers would be Magic Mush's channel, who did an excellent video on the subject, which I'll have a link in the description below. This is an issue that drastically threatens people's ability to enjoy gaming as a hobby, and I'm hoping people will stand up and take action, even if they themselves don't buy physical media. If the situation as it stands now doesn't change, then I can't say that I personally will be involved in buying games in the future, and I know I'm not alone. If you want to help this situation, you can share this video or ones with others echoing the same sentiment. You can make videos yourself on the subject. You can also stop buying digital games and put pressure on Sony to back out of this decision. We have 2 years. If things don't change, then I don't see a good future for gamers. Here is hoping things improve. Let us speak up against anti-consumer rights and corporations trying to take more and more rights away from us. If we don't take action, the future of gaming looks bleak. I love gaming. I don't want it to be ruined further than it already is. We have to save physical media. In a world where your entertainment is a subscription, your car is basically subscription, even your home is basically a subscription, we don't need more subscription services. We need to go back to being able to buy something and being done paying for it. If even a handful of people take action because of this video, I will feel like I've done my part. Expect me to speak more about this down the road. I'm WizPlay and I support physical media. Please help save physical media.